Our verse for the day takes us back to the beginning, in Genesis chapter 2, and in verse number 10. It's here in the Garden of Eden. The Bible says, "Now a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it parted and became 4 riverheads." This is beautiful language. It's describing what our eyes have never seen, and how in this garden the Lord provided this river, this massive river, to break out into 4 heads, or I guess we would call those tributaries, I'm not sure, but the river broke off to kind of like veins in a leaf, or even arteries in our arms, to provide the water that was needed to saturate and maintain the garden. Now this is significant because Genesis 2 is before Genesis 3. This is pre-sin. This is before the fall. And in yesterday's lesson we talked about how water has been given to us as a cleansing force. But clearly we have to see that water does not just have a cleansing effectiveness, but it also has the purpose of providing life. There is a vitality that only comes from water. See, that word itself, vitality, or even the word vitamins, or vitamins for my English friends, that word comes from the Latin word vita, which means life. So water is designed to not just cleanse, even though it does that. That's the role it took on after sin. But originally, the Lord ordained water to be a life force, a vital source of life. And so think about it. If that was in a perfect world and they relied on water, if they needed water in a perfect world, we sure do need it now, physically and spiritually. When we see that God has given us water as a life force, that is why Jesus so often married himself to that idea in his sermons. When he preached to people, he would tell them that I am that water. In fact, he told the woman at the well that he was and is the water of life. To hopefully get in our minds to see that water, with all of its powers, to not just cleanse, but to give life. If water is designed as a metaphor for our desperate need for him. So that is why we don't go but maybe 3 or 4 days without water, so that we can know that we cannot go long, we cannot go far without relying on Jesus and his grace. How long do we go without praying? How long do we go without spending time in his word? How long do we go without sharing with someone else and giving them something that they may need in practical ministry? Some of us are dehydrated, but here is the good news. We don't have to stay that way, because Jesus said, come and drink freely. Accept him now. And when we do that, you'll find yourself not only drinking more water, but you'll find yourself being more of a blessing to those who are thirsty around you. So until next time, my friends, please remember that change is good.